Hello friends, I am Prashant V, Dhanshetti, Assistant Professor, Department of Civil Engineering from Walchand Institute of Technology, Solapur. Today I am here to explain you about the failure of bolted connection in steel structure. The learning outcomes of today's lecture is that students will be able to understand the types of bolted joints, then the failure of bolted joints. Types of bolted joints. There are mainly two types of bolted joints subjected to axial force, that is lap joint and butt joint. Here in this figure you can see it is a lap joint. The loads are assumed to pass through the center of gravity of group of bolts. Lap joint, in this two members to be connected are overlapped and connected together. So one member and the other members are overlapped. The load in the lap joint has eccentricity as the center of gravity of the load in one member and the center of gravity of load in the second members are not in the same line. Here in this figure you can see this load is transferred from the upper plate and this load is transferred in the lower plate. This is having an eccentricity. So due to this eccentricity, a couple is formed which causes undesirable bending in the connection and the bolts may fail in tension. So to minimize the effect of bending in lap joint, at least two bolts in a line should be provided. So here you can see, so instead of one line of bolts, two lines of bolts are to be provided. Due to the eccentricity, the stresses are distributed unevenly across the contact area between the bolts and the members to be connected. This puts up limitations on the use of lap joint. Butt joint. Here you can see the type of butt joint. So in this, two members to be connected are placed end to end. So this member and this members are brought and they are placed end to end. Additional plates called cover plates are provided on either one side or both sides of the main plates to be connected. So in the top figure you can see a plate is provided on one side at the top, and in the next figure you can see the plate is provided on both sides of the main plate. So if cover is provided on one side, it is called single cover butt joint, and if the cover is provided on both sides, it is called as double cover butt joint. So it is more desirable to provide a butt joint rather than a lap joint for two main reasons. In case of double cover butt joint, the total shear force to be transmitted by the member is split into two parts. So here in the double cover butt joint, this load is split into two parts. So this is the butt joint and this load is transferred through the top plate and bottom plate. So it is split up into two parts and the forces act on each half. But in case of lap joint, there is only one plane on which the force act, and therefore the shear carrying capacity of the bolt is in a double cover butt joint is double than that of bolt in lap joint. So in case of double cover butt joint, eccentricity of the forces does not exist and hence the bending is eliminated, whereas it exists in the lap joint. So mention the number of shearing plane occurs in case of single shear and double shear, and also mention the number of broken pieces in case of single shear and double shear. Here pause the video and try to write answer on a paper. The shearing plane in case of single shear is 1 and the shearing plane in case of double shear is 2. The number of broken pieces in case of single shear is 2, whereas the number of broken pieces in case of double shear is 3. The failure of bolted joint can be checked by adherence to the specification of edge distance. There are two broad categories of failures. So failure of bolt and failure of the parts being connected. The bolt joints may fail in the following ways. So first one is shear failure of the bolt. Second one is bearing failure of the bolt. Third one is bearing failure of the plates. Fourth one is tension failure of the bolt. Fifth one is tension or tearing failure of the plates. And sixth one is block shear failure. So shear failure of bolts, so that may be in a single shear or a double shear. Shear stresses are generated when the plates slips due to applied forces. The maximum factored shear force in the bolt may exceed the nominal shear capacity of the bolt. The shear failure of the bolt takes place at the bolt shear plane interface. The bolt may fail in single shear or double shear. So you see in the lap joint it fails in a single shear, and if three plates are connected, the shearing planes are 2 and it will fail in a double shear. So the load carrying capacity in case of double shear is twice than that of load carrying capacity in case of single shear. Bearing failure of bolts. The bolt is crushed around half circumference. So here you can see the bolt is crushed. The plate may be strong in bearing and the heaviest stressed plate may press the bolt shank. The bearing failure of the bolt generally does not occur in practice except when the plates are made up of high strength steel and bolts are very low grade steel. Failure of bolted joints in bearing failure of the plates. So when ordinary bolts is subjected to shear force, the slip takes place and the bolt comes in contact with the plate. So here you can see the crushing of the plates occur. So this bolt crushes this plate edge. The plates may get crushed if the plate material is weaker than the bolt material. The bearing problem can be complicated by the presence of nearby bolt or the proximity of an edge in the direction of the load. So here if the edge distance is small, then the crushing of the plate will occur. The bolt spacing and the edge distance will influence the bearing strength. A possible failure mode resulting from the excessive bearing in shear tear out at the end of the connected members. Tension failure of bolts. Bolts subjected to tension may fail at the stress area. In case if any of the connecting plate is sufficiently flexible, additional pressing forces induced in the bolts must also be considered. So here the bolt will fail in tension. Then tension or tearing failure of the plate. So the plate gets teared off here. The tearing failure occurs when the bolts are stronger than the plates. Tension on both the gross area yielding and the net effective area rupture must be considered. Then block shear failure of the bolted joints. The bolts may have been placed at the lesser end distance than the required, causing the plates to shear out, which however can be checked by observing the specification of end distance. The failure of the connection in block shear may occur when the block of the material within the bolted area breaks away from the remainder area. So here you can see a gusset plate and a tension member is attached here. Now how the failure of the gusset or a plate tension may occur. So the gusset plate may fail like this. So the gusset plate is here. So here this may fail like this and this gusset plate will come out. And whereas the tension member may also fail. So here if it is failing like this, so this tension failure of the member may occur, or the the joint may fail due to the block shear failure. The possibility of this increases when high strength bolts are used and fewer bolts will be used for making connection. Then this type of failure occurs with a shear on one plane and tension on the perpendicular plane, leading to the falling of hatched portion of the plate. So this is the falling of the hatched portion of the plate. So these are the references which I have referred. Thank you. Thank you very much for watching my video.